Hi there, welcome to Colors. I'm Erica. On today's Weekend Whip, I'm going to be working again in Cute and Creepy by Camilla de Erico. I'm going to be working on this week's prompt and a little bit of next week's, I think, too. So I'm doing Grim Reaper this week, and then next week is a short week, but we've got this one. So this is the witch one that I wanted to do. So I'm hoping to get those two done. I'm having a little bit of a tough time right now finishing pages. So hopefully this will be a jump start for me. But I'll talk to you about that in here in a second. I'm going to take a sip of my tea and then we're going to get started. Okay, I'm going to use my Neocolor 2s again because these are my favorite supply to use in this book. All right, grab my colors. We're gonna do, okay. Also, we're working with this color palette. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a really light blue color, very light on the Grim Reaper himself. Then we're gonna do maybe just like probably a really dark blue. I don't know if I have. I think I might bring some watercolors in too, because I have these Kartaki watercolors. They're very old, not very old, but I haven't used them in a while. But I might use some of those as well today so I can get a nice dark blue cape on this lovely guy. But I do want to do a background similar to what's on the illustration here. So I'm going to grab some of those colors first, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I think this is what we're going to do. Let me get a backer page. Okay, and I have had quite a bit of fun doing coloring in this book. So I'm hoping that this will kind of help me get out of the little... It's not even a mini slump. Like, I'm coloring certain things. I'm just not wanting to color what I need to color. With that being said, you may have noticed that I have not done my video this week for the Monster Mash video. I could not make myself continue coloring it in a timely manner. I've sat down and I've done bits and pieces here and there. I'll show you what I have done because I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this video done, which is upsetting. I just cannot make myself do it. So this is what I have so far. I think it's going to be really cool if I can just sit down and make myself do it. I love my background. I think that turned out really neat. And I think once I get all the shading done on the rest of this, it's going to be cool. I have come downstairs and sat at my desk, and then I'll just like stare at the page, and I just can't do it. And it's super upsetting because I know that it's going to be cool. So I'm trying real hard to make myself do it, and it's just not working. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be out this week. I do have a little mini road trip that I'm going on with my mom and my aunt and my sister. Oh, geez. My oldest daughter. I hope oh boy, she is not my sister. Although, we both she helped raise me as much as I raised her because I was so young when I had her. Anyway, we're all going to be going out west and visiting my son and my cousin. So that'll be nice. But I'm going to be gone for several days, and that's, taken a lot of time out of time that I could be working on my coloring page and or video. So, yeah, so it's not going to get done this week. I'm hoping that I will be able to just, once I get back next week, I'll just be able to just knock the rest of them out, because I do have another Monster Mash video that I want to make for the witch one. So fingers crossed that happens. Yeah, so I'm slightly upset with myself, a lot with myself, that I can't do it. But I know, like, the majority of us have all kind of been in that situation. You know what I just found that I think I'm going to use? I found this cool metallic black watercolor that I might use for the cloak. That's a possibility. Sorry, I'm looking for a nice dark black that I can add into this that will maybe, we'll try the black from the Albrecht Dürer and see if that works. I'm going to go through and do this one for this part first and see if we can make it work. But so yeah, so I am a little frustrated with myself, but you know, I've been able to finish other coloring pages. I have done several buddy colors that I had been, you know, that were due for finishing up this month. And yeah, I mean, it's not like I haven't been coloring at all. I just don't want to color that in particular. Yeah. This is the part of the I don't know if it's ADHD. I don't know what it is. This is the part of whatever I have that I do not enjoy, because I know what I want to do. I really want to do it. I am constantly thinking about, well, I could just go do it. I need to do it. It's time to do it. It's, you know, I just need to do it. And then I sit down to do it and I can't. I just can't. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. Okay, where else do we want a little bit more color? I'm going to do a little bit more up here, I think, but I'm going to make this more blue. Okay, I think that'll be good. We'll try we'll try that and see what we get. Okay, here we go. Let's just get this background done. Yeah, so that's really what I've been up to the past several days, I guess. Just fighting with myself and doing other pages that my brain will let me do. I'm not sure I like this brush. Maybe it just needed more water. No, I don't think I like that one. Let's try this one. This one has a good funky tip on it, so I can really just get the color moving however I want, and I can pounce and it'll be good. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, I'm very excited about the upcoming trip, though. Of course, I have waited till the last minute to do everything that I need to do. So I gotta I mean, it's just a road trip, so thankfully I don't have to worry about anything like super major. But, you know, making sure I have all of the clothes I need washed and all of the snacks that we need for the trip, and make sure my car is clean and all, you know, all of the things that you just do before you go on a road trip. But I'm very excited to go out there and see my baby boy. We just miss him so much. We did kind of have a little bit of a talk about Christmas the other day, so I'm fingers crossed. It sounds like he might be able to come home, which would just be wonderful. It sounded like he really wanted to come home. I don't know if he is going to be able to necessarily, but he really wants to come home. So hopefully I can make it work for him. Trying not to ruin the other side. Maybe if I just put a piece of paper there, that'll help a little bit. Maybe I should tape it off. I'm just going to tape that off just to be safe. There we go. Just to make sure that I don't completely mess up the other side. Because I have a feeling that I could have done that very easily. So I'm patting out the color so that hopefully I can get kind of that cool look that is on the inspiration images. I really like that. Just like I don't know, it looks almost smoky or something similar to that. Like a cool, mysterious background. I don't know. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. We've got, I did all kinds of stuff today. Like, because I'm in the mode now, my brain is like, well, since you're gonna be doing everything else that you need to get done, why don't we get these other things done that we have been putting off for so long? So today I went and got my blood work done that I've been, it's not that I was putting it off, it was just that again, I couldn't make myself go, which sucks, but I did it today. So yay, that's a big happy news for me. And then I also got my kiddo registered for some things for high school stuff that she has to do. So she's got to take a placement test. But it's not necessarily like to get in. It's not like an entrance exam. It's just a test to see where she's at academically and help the counselors with figuring out what classes she would be best in. And I was talking to her about it this morning. I was like, kiddo, you realize this is like a 3-hour test? She's like, yeah, she's like, this is going to be awesome. She's like, just acting like it was no big deal. And I was like, are you sure you're going to be all right? She said, yes, I'm going to be fine. It's going to be great. I'm going to do what I need to do, and there's not going to be any problems. And I was like, okay, then. But it's not for a couple weeks still, so don't have to worry about that yet. But I was just happy to have the information, you know, that I've actually got her registered for it, and she's good to go on all of those fronts. So that's the good news. This ultramarine color, is that what it is? Yeah, ultramarine is not, I don't know. I just wish there was a blue between like the dark blue and that blue. Or maybe just a darker blue. Maybe that's the in-between color. I don't know. I think I talked about this a little last week. I have asked for the Neocolor, the full set. So we'll see. We'll see if I get it, first of all, and then if I do, if there's any big differences that are really, I don't know, something I needed. Probably not. You don't really need a lot of this stuff, do you? Don't really need it. Might be a want more, but yeah. All right. I'm just going to keep playing with this background. I would love to hear what you guys do when you are stuck. Like not necessarily just, I don't know, in a rut, but because like I said, I've come down and I've done like little bits and pieces where I've been sitting there to do that page, and then I just look at it, I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I would be really curious to hear what maybe some of your guys' tips and tricks are. And I, you know, not necessarily that they'll work for me because everybody's different, but it would just be interesting to hear. Just to hear. Okay. I'm not sure if I like this one as much as I like the one next to it. I should have left more white space, I think. I think. Or done more of this mint color. I think maybe I'll add some more of that when I come back in. I'll add another layer of color on top of this too. So maybe I'll do more of that when I come in with the second layer. I'll do more of that mint color on top of things. Maybe that'll tone it down. Yeah, like this is just too dark. This whole area here, I want to lighten that up. I can a little bit, but if I work the paper too much, it's going to start damaging the paper, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to have to just go with it. And then maybe I'll just sprinkle a bunch of black and white paint or something all over this, and we'll see how that goes. I have also, so I just finished another page where I was using the white Neocolor. So I saw, I saw Jen from Jen's Coloring Corner do this, where she uses just the plain white Neocolor, or the white Neocolor too, but she uses it dry and just colors on her image, and that creates like this cool smoky effect. And so I did that the other day on a page, and I really liked the way that it turned out. So maybe I can add some of that onto this, and it will have the same result. I'm hoping that that is what will happen. All right, let's see where we're at with this. I don't want to completely saturate the page. Okay, there is a little bit of movement, like I created some kind of movement, so maybe when I come back in with my next layer, I can kind of continue with that. Like that's kind of interesting. All right, so I think for the blade, I'm going to use, so I'm going to get these are, it's Creative Expressions, but it is, I will put the name on screen because I can't remember, Cosmic Shimmer. These are one of the watercolor sets that I have from them, and I think I'm going to use the silver on the scythe, I think, and then maybe the black on the cloak. I am going to use a little bit, I was going to use the same color over here, I guess. Yeah, so I'll just use a tiny little bit of this color over here on him. So he's going to look very similar to the guy on the opposite page. Maybe this one is when he doesn't have his cloak on, and then once he puts his cloak on, it gets all dark and scary. Maybe. Okay. So yeah, he's just going to have barely a hint of color on him. Yeah, you can't even see that. Oops, I forgot all this whole section in here. Let me do this real quick. That almost completely disappeared. All right, let's try some watercolors. So I've got my cup of water here. I've got my paintbrush. We'll do a little bit of painting with the Cosmic. See, it's all silvery and lovely here. The only thing that I don't necessarily love is that it does kind of get rid of a lot of the shading. So you do sometimes have to come back in with pencils to shade over top of the metallic so that you can still get that. You can have the sheen, but you also get like the cool shadows and whatnot. I do tend to have a hard time when I'm using a water brush or a paintbrush and talking and working at the same time. I don't know why. It's just that way. How does that look for you guys? I wonder if we can see any of the, I mean, it looks pretty shiny when I move it around. It looks okay. I'll come back in with my black, do a little bit of shading there. Okay, so do I want to do dark blue or black for the cloak? I think I want like a really, really dark blue. So I'm not going to do the iridescent or the metallic black. I'm going to use my Kuretake. I almost spilled my water everywhere. Good Lord. This desk is just, I'm kind of glad you guys can't see that. It would be a little embarrassing. Okay, so I'm gonna do my blues and blacks from here. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of this deep blue. I'm gonna water these down first. Okay. This is a really nice dark deep blue color. And then I'm going to grab some of the black too and mix that in. All right, let's see what we get. I'm hoping, I don't know if I have enough paint here. That's the other thing that's kind of scary when it comes to watercolor mixing. Like, I just don't always know if I've got enough on my palette for what I need to do. And then I'm like, well, hopefully I can match it again. I mean, I guess it's not too terribly scary with watercolors because you can usually add more or take, you know, you can't really take it away, but you can always add more color. I might add more blue on top of that, but for now, this is what we got. That was kind of what I was wanting, was this darker bluey black color though. I'm gonna go over the shadows too. And then I can come in and darken that up more if I need to with the black. Yeah, so the only thing about the black is that it does start to warm up the blue a little bit. So that's not my favorite, but like I said, I can come back in with more blue to make it a cool color again. I am gonna, like I said, I'm gonna paint over here on the inside of the hood. Okay. It's a little bit water resistant where there's like the super black printed bits. I'm gonna water this down a little bit, add more color. And this is really just a base color. It's not going to be the final, I don't think. I'll probably come in with a few pencils and add more shading and stuff, but This illustration is super cute. I didn't want to screw it up. Okay. All right, that's not terrible. Let's grab some just blue, and we'll just come in with that color and see if that helps. If not, then maybe I can bring in some purple, and that'll help. I don't love there's a giant circle forming right there. I don't know what that is. Yeah, this nice blue wash just makes it, cools it back down. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay. Well, that works. You can't even see that color I put on the skeleton part now, though, can you? Ooh, that's a lot of color in a very small area. Okay, how do we feel about that? Let's see how the metallic one has dried. That looks pretty sparkly. I don't hate that. I don't hate it. He's a cute little guy. All right, let me clean up this watercolor stuff here real quick. Okay, I did decide I'm going to use the black metallic watercolor, but I'm going to use it on his scythe. On the... I don't know, is that just the handle? What is that? On this, I don't know, the stick. That's what it is. The scythe stick. It was a really simple page, but I think it's going to be cute. I didn't want to go through and color all the little scythes in the background. I just thought that would be a little too much for me. Let me give this a second to dry, and then we'll mess around some more. Okay, while this stuff dries, I'm going to play with some of the pencils I have sitting off to the side here. So I'm going to use a couple of different blues for his eyes. So I have a nice polychromos here. I don't know what color this is. Hold on. This is Endianthrin blue. And then I'm going to use a Black Widow, the Galaxy blue. And then I'm going to use, no, I think I want this one. Picasso Sky. It's just like a really light grayish blue color. That'll work. Then I'm going to use the black to come back in and kind of reinforce those black lines that are all around. And the pupil. All right. I want that a little bit darker. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with my white Posca, wherever that may be, and add back in the white highlights, because I know that there were a few kind of randomly in here. All right, I am slightly concerned about this hole in the top of his head, but yeah, I like the way the rest of that is going. So like I said, I'm going to let this dry, and then I will come back and work on just a couple more things, and then we'll probably have to call it for the day. But I like the way that this is looking. I think, no, that's not dry yet. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. I'll be back. Okay, this is nice and dry. However, there's still a hole in the center of this thing. So I don't know if I'm going to have to fix that with my pencils or if I can like do more stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, and I don't really like it. Anyway, let me grab my water brush again. I'm just going to add in a few more spots of this more purpley color because I don't think I have enough of that on the page. And then I'll come in again with a dark bluish color, probably that dark blue color, and do some more colors. But I want it to get looking like this side where there's like, it's more watercolor instead of just this. I don't know. I don't know how to say it right. But we're just going to start coming in and just pouncing color around. And hopefully I can get it to look the way that I am seeing it in my head. Yeah. So I don't know why that happened. That's really starting to bug me, that little bit in the center there. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to why it would be there either. It's just strange to me. Okay, the other thing I might do is I might come in with some darker purple and see if that will help some of the areas too. I'm going to add a little bit of that purpley blue color. What color is this? I don't even know. Sky blue. It's like a periwinkle. I don't know if you can hear me just pouncing, like hitting the brush on the page, but that's basically all I have to do to get that color. So I'm really pouncing, like pouncing the color in. Okay, well, that didn't work exactly how I wanted. Let's try some of this. Let me try some of this. I'm going to try some of this one too. So I'm going to try some of this mint color. So this is jade green. I'm going to get a little bit more of this color kind of in places. And with these, there we go. With these Neocolors, it's nice because they are a little more opaque than like a regular watercolor would be. So you can kind of get some of these lighter colors over the top of the darker colors, as long as you don't blend them in too much. So you can kind of see I've added a little bit of color right up there. But yeah, it's a nice way to get a little bit of color variation in there. But again, you don't want to just brush it on, because then you just have like these strokes of color instead of like a whole more blended kind of look. Okay, I did say I was going to try to go in like this swirly motion, didn't I? Okay, let me grab my purple. I wonder if I have a dark purple in like my Neocolors or... Okay, I don't have anything like super dark in the Neocolors. I have this purple, and then I grabbed the violet from my super colors. I feel like that's going to be a little darker for some reason. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's going to give me a little bit more pigment. I don't know why I think that. But I am going to kind of create this movement on the page where everything's kind of swirling. So I hope you'll be able to see that as I go through and add a little bit more here and there. Okay. Ooh, that one's really dark up there. Yeah, so a lot of the times when you're using these mediums, just remember that just because you've done one layer doesn't mean you're necessarily done. You can always go in and add more in. So yeah, sometimes even going lighter on your first layer kind of helps with giving your page a little more depth and dimension. And that's really kind of what adds the interest and what makes things interesting to look at is when they have different layers. They have all these different layers that you can see. And you kind of, you know, I don't know, it just makes things more interesting to look at. Okay. I don't love whatever happened here. So we're going to try that again. Give a little bit into here. You want to be careful about when you're picking pigment up directly off of the pencil or crayon or marker or whatever it is that you're using. You want to be very careful about doing it right over top of your artwork, which I have learned the hard way in the past. So you would think that I would remember to do it all the time. I don't, but I try. Try to do it the right way. Okay. Something about this area is just off for me. So I don't know what it is that I'm going to be able to do, but we're going to try some different things and see what happens. So yeah, so I'm just going to keep playing with this and hopefully I can get it to look somewhat cool. And then while I'm editing and stuff, maybe I'll just kind of go through and add some shading in, things like that. Yeah, see right there, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to hold that up. You can see I literally just did what I told you guys would happen. So that white area now has a bunch of purpley spots, and I did not mean to do that. So we will probably be adding some more purple spots in around different parts of the page now because I did not follow what I said. Okay, so since I messed up there, you can see that I'm going around now and just adding more in. So I've got my brush like super wet and I'm just kind of sprinkling on more splatters. They're all very small splatters, but it's still kind of fun. Okay, I'm going to let this dry again. And then, no, I think I'm just going to have to call it there. Hopefully, that was kind of fun for you guys to watch. I think it's going to be really cute when it's done. But I do like the way that the background is looking a little bit better now. It has a lot more movement and is flowy and looks cool. And then when I add the white Neocolor on top of it, I think it's going to look neat too. So yeah, so that's it for me today. I will post a picture of this finished, hopefully at the end of the video here. And yeah, until next time, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you being here as often as you are. Sorry again about the Monster Mash video this past week. And hopefully I'll be able to finish that one as well, but we shall see. All right. So again, thank you so much for being here. And until next time.